Here is an experiment that can be done with Praat. Just a toy example. You load the experiment description file as you load a sound or a text grid with read from file. Then click the Run button. We say the word heed again. We say the word HUD again. And so on. When the experiment is finished, close its window and extract the results. Of course, you can save them to a spreadsheet. Now let's see how you define what is going to happen in the experiment. The first two lines in the experiment file are only there to let Praat know what it is supposed to do with this kind of file. Never touch these lines. Blank while playing should be self-explanatory. Stimuli are sounds. They could also be text, and the response would be a selected sound. Stimulus file name head. This is very important and one of the typical sources for frustrating mistakes. Here you tell Praat where it can find the sound files containing your stimuli. Don't put a complete path name like c:/users/Mary/desktop/here, but a relative path, like in this example. This will make the experiment portable not only into different folders on your computer, but onto any other computer. Don't use backslashes here, even if your operating system uses them. Windows does, but // also work, which has the big advantage that then your experiment can run unchanged also on Macs and Linux machines. Relative means relative to the folder or directory in which the experiment file itself resides. So, in our example, sounds is the name of a subdirectory of the directory where we store the experiment file. Make sure you don't forget the final slash. Otherwise, Praat will never find the directory it needs. Stimulus file name tail, also rather important. It tells Praat the file name extension of the stimulus files. Note that all the files have to be of the same type, and the sounds also have to be all sampled at the same frequency. The next two lines specify two special sound files that you might use as a carrier phrase for your target sound. Then follow several adjustable silence durations and, finally, the stimulus specification. How many stimulus sound files are there and what are they called? Don't forget to omit the file extension, otherwise Praat will search for files with a double extension like heed.wav.wav. Throughout the experiment file, never add or take away any of the quotation marks, even if no text appears between them. They are vital for the correct parsing of the file. Possible pauses and the randomization strategy for stimulus repetitions come next. Then the initial instructions for the test subject, followed by the text which will appear with every stimulus, the pause announcement, and the final closing text. Replay or OK buttons are not used in our example, neither are sound responses, but the last two sections are important and need a little explanation. The sequences of 4 numbers are screen coordinates, telling Praat where to place its response buttons. The first 2 numbers are the horizontal coordinates from left to right, the last 2 numbers the vertical coordinates going from bottom to top. All coordinates are expressed as proportions of the screen size, width and height respectively. So the response button for heed will be drawn as a right-angled box with its left side 1/5 of the screen width to the right of the screen edge, and its right side a further 10% of the screen width to the right. The bottom side accordingly is 70% of the screen height up from the bottom, and the top side another 10% up. The texts in quotation marks after the coordinates are the button labels. The number 40 specifies the character font size in points, and the letters at the line ends are the response codes to be recorded. The goodness categories work in the same way, but no separate response codes are needed and no font sizes can be set.